Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wyoming Knits YouTube channel. My name is Jenny Lee and this is my channel where I like to talk about all the things that I've been knitting on over the past week. Today is Sunday, May 4th, 2025, and this is episode 89. You can find me on Instagram as Jenny Lee Knits, and you can find me on Ravelry as Jenny Lee S Knits. And today I'm coming to you from Southwest Wyoming, where I live with my husband, our daughter, and our little Yorkie, Dax. So it has been 1 week since we last chatted. I do want to remind you about the Wyoming Knits Scrappy Cal that we are having over on Ravelry. We've had a couple of people post their finished objects for Q2. So just head over there and look at what they have made and see if you can enter any of your projects into that. Let's get started with what I am wearing. I'm wearing the Bingo sweater by Twin Stitches Designs, and I used Knit Picks Wonderfluff in the color Cobblestone Heather, and this is a bulky weight sweater that Julianne put on her membership. This was a free sweater, and I think it is only available to Twin Stitches Designs members. So if you are not a member and would like to consider that, I will put a link in the description box below for you to go check that out. I think I pay less than $15 a month for that membership. So there's make-alongs and free patterns if you would like to join that also. So this sweater, I'll have to put in a picture of me wearing it so you can see the hem. I did do bracelet length sleeves. I think this is a nice, light, warm sweater. Even though it is almost 60 degrees here today, it is not too hot yet. I don't know if I move around a lot, if I will get hotter, or if it will be just right. This is a blown yarn. It is like a tube, and it is a bulky weight, but it is so airy and fluffy. I purchased 9 skeins of that, or 9 balls, I don't know, they're like little cute little things, and I think they're 50 grams each, and I only used 5, so I have 4 left and a little bit. This, when I weighed it, it weighed 220 grams for my grams out of my stash, so that put a little dent in grams out, and I do have a lot of grams in, but we'll talk about that at the end. The next thing I have is my this is the Musselburgh Hat by Ysolda Teague. I knit this on a size 1.5. It's a US 1.5, and that is a 2.5 millimeter needle. I did the adult large, and I did, let's see, 12 inches from my increases to my decreases, and so from about here to here is 12 inches, and then from here to here is another 2 inches. So this is a 16-inch tube that, when you fold it up, is about 8 inches from here to here. I'll try it on. I left this little, I haven't woven this in yet. I did block it, but it's not woven in yet, just in case I need to make it a little bit longer. It fits my head, but this is for one of my husband's friends who has a bigger head than me. He's an adult male, so I'm hoping this will fit. I'll have to have my husband try it on later today and see if it fits. I did block this. I finished this sweater on the 29th and this hat on the 30th of April, and so I did get 3 finished objects for the month of April. My mom's socks, this hat, and this sweater. So that was all of my finished objects for this time. I used Cascade Heritage in the color, I want to say snow on this one, but I do have one more, so we'll go into works in progress. So I started the next Musselburgh hat that I'm making. I'm doing this on magic loop until I finish all of the increases, and you can see where I took where I frogged the other hat, because I was using a size 2 or size 3, and I did not like the fabric it was giving me. So I started this one with a size 1.5, and I liked the fabric on that, so I ripped this one out and started over. So I've just got a little bit. I still have a few more increases to go before I can switch to my 16-inch circular. So this is also, let me find the tag, Cascade Heritage. And this is the color number 5682, which I believe is the color white. And so this is a white color. Let's see if we can tell the difference on screen. Yeah, this one's off-white and this one is white. So this one is snow and this one is white. And I ordered these from Simply Sock Co. I will have that linked with the project description down below. I usually try to link where I bought the yarn, the pattern page on Ravelry, and any other information that you might need. All of my bags are also linked below. This is a Stitch Quest bag by Kate's, I think it's Kate's Randomness. Yes, Kate's Randomness. Here's her little tag. It's got the pocket in the front, and then the drawstring, and the little wrist strap. So I've got that Musselburgh going. I have one more that I have to make, a black one for my husband. So let's talk about the next thing I worked on this week. The next thing I worked on were these socks. Let's see. This is the Stack of Books pattern by Sock Witchery. I have the heel flap, and the heel turn done, and I have picked up my gusset stitches, and I think I've done maybe 2 rows of gusset decreases. So I do a slip stitch heel flap. I cast on 64 stitches with a German twisted cast on. I did 20 rounds of a 2x2 ribbed cuff, and then I went right into the pattern, and I did, I want to say 60, 10, 20, that's the end of the ribbing, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 rounds of the pattern. And then I'm pretty sure I substituted the slip stitch hill flap from the vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars from the Crazy Sock Lady. She has vanilla socks on DPNs, on Magic Loop, and 9-inch circulars, and I think it's all the same pattern except for she has details about where your needles are in the project and what kind of stitch markers you need to keep track of your front and your back and all of those things. So I usually use a 2x2 cuff for 20 rounds. I do that hill flap, slip stitch hill flap and heel turn and the toe from that pattern, and then I usually just substitute in the texture or the pattern from the other pattern that I want to use. So I was right here last time, so I did put a few more rounds on this. This is a Sinful Yarn. In the color Far Out. This is an 85-15, 437 yards per 100 grams. And when I have finished with this, I think I'll put the leftovers in my sea glass cardigan. I've not worked on that this week. And then the next thing I worked on is in this bag by Awesome Granny. Oh, I forgot to tell you which bag this one was. This is a Knit for Brains bag. It's just like a little, just enough for one cake of yarn and maybe a mini for your socks. I got it for summer sock camp a couple years ago. So the next one is in a bag by Awesome Granny. This is her medium size bag, medium or large, I can't remember which one. And I am doing the Resource Raglan by Sarah Opie, and I am using the Unit I dye in the color Lavender Fields. And I have worked on it quite a bit this week. I was right here last time. I finished the hem and started the first sleeve. I chose the mock neck with a high neck. I chose to do a 2-stitch raglan increase, and then I did, I want to say 11 inches in stockinette, and then a 2-inch 2x2 hem. And then I also did a sewn bind off on this. I talked about the bind off on my birch pullover when I did the hem on that. It was also a 2x2 rib, and I just put all the knits on one needle and all the purls on another needle, and I Kitchenered them together for a tubular bind off. So that is this one. I am so excited to have this done soon. I think I'll be able to finish it either this week or next week. We are going on a field trip on Monday, and my daughter has a doctor's appointment on Tuesday, so we'll see how much knitting time I get done. Then the last thing I worked on was this blanket. I'm putting it in my Summer Sock Camp 2024 bag. And I'm using the Premier Bloom yarn in the color Hydrangea. And this is the Garter Columns Throw. It was on the Premier Yarn website. Let's see, let's make sure I don't drop any stitches. But it's growing. I was right here last time. If you can see that cute little dinosaur. I have added the next ball, and it's just knit the front side, and then when you're on the back side you purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, or purl 3, knit 3, purl 3, knit 3, all the way across. So I really like how that looks like columns of flowers, or rows of flowers in between the blue and the purple. So this has to be done before the end of May. When I sit and work on it, I can get pretty far. But it is knit on a size, I want to say size 10, US size 10, 6mm needle, and because it is a bigger needle and a chunkier yarn, I can't work on it for more than like an hour or my wrists and my hands start to hurt. So I have 1, 2, 3 that have not, the tag has not been taken off yet. So I have this one and 3 more balls of yarn to put in here. So hopefully I can get that one done. And that was everything I worked on this week. We had a 5-day week at school, and there was just a couple of days that I came home and I was like, oh, we are ready for school to be done. We have just the remainder of May and we are finished. It is starting to get warm. The grass is starting to get green. We have some trees with some little tiny leaves on them. So far, when I went to Utah last week for the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair, all of their trees were completely green. They had all of their leaves. Some of the apple trees had the beautiful flowers, and then I came home and all of our trees were still bare. And so I'm looking forward to when the trees start getting all of their leaves. Let's talk about yarn that I got this week in the mail. So I only got one thing so far this week in the mail. This is from the Yarnbrary. This is her Shire Sock Set Club on Biography Sock. This is an 85 extra fine superwash merino, 15% nylon, 437 yards per 100 grams. And this is, oh, and 20 gram mini. And the color is Samwise Gamgee. It's got orange and purple. This is a beautiful sock set. I'm not sure if I'm going to make all of these into socks yet or what I'm going to do with them, but I'm going to save them and get all of her Shire sock sets this year. So that was 120 more grams added to my stash this week. So let's talk about my stash stats. I have my computer pulled up with my spreadsheet on it. At the beginning of the year, I started out with 74,000 grams in my stash. That's about 740 single 1 gram skeins. They're not all fingering weight single 100 gram skeins, but that's about the equivalent of what I had. So far this year, I have knit 4,328 grams out of stash. So that's pretty good. That's about 40 skeins of yarn, 43 skeins of yarn. And I have brought in 9,289 grams this year. So that's about 92 more skeins of yarn into my stash. And, oh no, that's, yes, that is how many has came into my stash. And I am at 79,031 grams total in my stash right now. And that is a positive of 4,960 grams for the year. I put out 731 grams out of stash for the month of April, and 3,115 grams in for the month of April. I knew that April was going to be a grams in heavy month because of the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair and local yarn store day. So I knew that was going to be a heavily grams in month, but I did not anticipate a smaller grams out month. I thought I could finish some of my sweaters and my total grams out would be a little bit higher. I'm hoping that May I still get about 500 grams out, and then June, July, and August I will be off school. Well, June and July I'll be off school. August, about mid-month, we start thinking about going back, and I get back into the classroom and start setting up things. We have professional development days, and so I have all of June and all of July to knit, and we'll see how many grams out I can get in those months. I do have one July countdown coming in, so I could finish my blanket I started last year. So that would probably be, it's 31 20 gram minis. So let's calculate that. 31 20 gram minis. That is 620 grams for July 2024 and 620 grams for July 2025. So that should be 1,240 grams out by the end of June. Or no, by the end of August. Because I don't anticipate opening the last day and getting it in my blanket and finishing my blanket on the very last day. It will probably be the first week in August before I get that blanket finished. So Let me know your thoughts about grams in, grams out. I just want to just kind of track what I'm doing this year, see if I'm buying more yarn than I'm actually knitting. Pretty sure that's what I'm doing because my stash is not getting any smaller, it's just getting larger. I want to see what kind of projects I work on this year. I just want to track all of that, see how much each project weighs, just kind of keep some data for myself, and then decide what that means for me in the future. I don't want to completely stash down. I don't want to completely just add to my stash. This year, I think I just want to know what I'm doing. So let me know about your stash. Are you trying to stash down? Are you keeping track? Do you not care how much yarn you're bringing in and knitting out? A couple years ago, I didn't know what I was bringing in, what I was knitting. I didn't know those numbers, and that was okay. Yeah, just tell me your thoughts on your stash. Let me know what you look forward to seeing in the next video. See what I have finished. I think I might need to start one more pair of socks for my mother-in-law for Mother's Day next weekend. Oh, can I get that done? Hit the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, and I will see you next week. Happy knitting!